handgun, one of whom was reportedly his romantic partner. He faces 6 counts of attempted murder, aggravated assault, and a domestic violence charge. The charge is issued as Radford made his first appearance Tuesday in a military courtroom at Fort Stewart. The attack happening August 6th. All of the victims survived. Radford remains in pretrial confinement as military proceedings continue. Ted Lindner, Fox News.
In Austin, Texas, Ethan Nineker is facing capital murder charges, accused in Monday's shooting outside a Target store that left 3 people dead, a man and his 4-year-old granddaughter, and a Target employee. Tropical storm Erin keeps slowly moving our way. Fox meteorologist Adam Klotz says in a few days,
it's going to be our first hurricane of the season. It's going to be our first major hurricane of the season. Now, if we kind of drill in on it, ultimately 115 miles an hour, that's getting up to a major hurricane. The entire cone is running north of the Caribbean islands.
That's the forecast heading into the weekend. Many models have Erin moving north away from the U.S. after that, but it is still too early to know for sure. In Alaska, there's a flooding problem in the capital.
There are evacuation zones as water from rain and snowmelt flows from a basin dammed by the Mendenhall Glacier about 12 miles from Juneau. It's become an annual concern since 2011 and the disappearance of a smaller glacier near there. The water builds up, forces its way under or around the ice-created dam into Mendenhall Lake, then down the Mendenhall River. Temporary barriers are set up with the hope of protecting homes in the flood zone. Nearly 300 homes were damaged last year when the river crested at nearly 16 feet, a foot higher than the record set the year before. Chris Foster, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising the day after the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 closed at record highs. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's all-American truck headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Happy Wednesday morning. It is now August 13th, 2025, and you're in tune with what is news radio for South Texas. The morning news on News Talk 710 KURV, also at Radio Para Mí. Download that free app. Listen to us. Listen to the morning news on your smartphone at Radio Para Mí. Show producer Fred Cruz, AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on standby. He's watching some tropical rain. Might be headed this way over the next several days. We got from Mission Economic Development, Teclo Garcia will be your main conversation coming up at 7:15. I'm Sergio Sanchez. Thank you so much for waking up with us. Well, yeah, we had plenty of rain in the area. Here and there, it was dotted, kind of heavy at points. We got that in the forecast today and tomorrow. And look at that, maybe some tropical rain headed this way at the end of this week. A conversation with AccuWeather coming up in 2 minutes. Meantime, in the state of Texas, just the opposite. Seems that the state of Texas, most of it, is under a disaster declaration because it's too dry.
Governor Abbott put out the proclamation for 191 Texas counties due to increasing wildfire danger conditions that started Sunday. The Texas A&M Forest Service says it is hot, windy, and trees and grass are dry. That's a recipe for out-of-control fires. The governor has activated firefighting support from the Forest Service and the Texas National Guard. Texans are being asked to avoid activities that could cause a spark or flame, such as parking in tall grass or throwing cigarette butts out the window. Southeast Texas counties are not included in the declaration.
Stephen Pickering with that report. A couple of Valley notes. The mayor of Harlingen, Norma Sepulveda, saying she's running again. She wants to beat mayor again, running for re-election. If you are a customer of Magic Valley Electric Co-op, chances are you might be paying more starting October 1st. Customers will be paying an average of $12 a month, says folks at Magic Valley Co-op. Now, of course, it all depends on the usage. There was a big shutdown of the freeway in Pharr last night. Authorities say it was a motorcycle accident. Individual lost control, was hit by a vehicle. The freeway had to be shut down for a couple of hours. In Austin, the standoff continues at the state capitol between Republicans and Democrats over President Trump's redistricting plan. He wants 5 more congressional seats.
Texas Republican House Speaker Dustin Burrows says if they're unable to get a quorum on Friday, they'll end the special session 5 days early and call a new one.
I spoke with Governor Abbott this morning, and he has made it clear he is committed to calling us back again until our work is done.
This would start the entire process over again. House Democratic Caucus Chair Gene Wu has been the target of Governor Abbott, who's trying to get him removed from office.
Every single thing that they're doing is just illegal and wrong and unconstitutional. It's like they're saying that like the American people are just too dumb to know what we're doing. We'll fool them.
Also, in a show of protest, 9 Senate Democrats walked out of the chamber before their Republican colleagues voted to pass the new congressional map. In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
And a quick business note, the Texas Attorney General's office again setting their sights on Eli Lilly.
This time, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is suing Eli Lilly for what he says was bribing and illegally inducing medical providers to prescribe its most profitable drugs that are used for weight loss and diabetes treatment. Paxton's office says Eli Lilly offered illegal incentives to medical providers in Texas, including free nurses. Paxton previously filed legal action against Eli Lilly for fraud and abuse allegations. Eli Lilly says they will fight the allegations and claims this stems from a corporate relator whose allegations have been dismissed by courts.
Time is 7:09. It is AccuWeather time, and big thank you to Dougie and the crew at Martin Farm and Ranch providing us 7 o'clock AccuWeather. AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina. Let's go straight to the tropics and maybe the Bay of Campeche. We call it the tropical cradle around here. Perhaps that can send tropical something, maybe some rain in a few days. So what's the plan?
Yeah, it's looking like we may see maybe a little bit of development. Certainly, it's going to up the chances for rain as we head through the day on Friday, up to about 40 to 50%. And
Nice.
some of that could be quite heavy as the precipitable water, the measure of how much moisture is in the atmosphere, is going to climb above 2 inches. So that's a very tropical feeling air mass, a lot of moisture to work with. So if that thing does start to kick off, some heavy rain certainly possible for us. Friday will be the best chance, a little less so on Saturday. Rip currents and higher waves are likely to be more the threat as far as anything is concerned, but not expecting a huge development out of this.
Yeah. Well, that tropical blob or tropical fetus, as we sometimes call, will be on the northern end of it. So should be as far as rain development, it favors us.
Yeah. And then again, some of that rain could be quite heavy in spots. So certainly needed. But, it's tough when it's real dry like this and we get a lot of heavy rain at once. A lot of times it kind of overcomes how much the ground can suck up quickly and it starts to flash flood and wash away. So definitely want to be cautious of that.
Well, you mentioned that. It looks like we'll have a steady cadence of that between now and Friday, right? We had a few spots. We got some heavy rain. We got some nice rain in a few areas yesterday. I don't know if it hit any of the rain gauges.
Yeah, McAllen, the McAllen Airport there is the only spot I actually found. Oh, wait a minute. No, that wasn't the one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, it was
maybe it was Brownsville.
Yeah.
Somebody got some rain yesterday that I was looking at.
We had our home family. Our business director got soaked, and our managers, they were out jogging somewhere. They got pounced. We could see it on the replay.
Oh, there it is. No, it was McAllen. I just closed the window. I shrunk my window down too much and couldn't see it. Yeah, they got
the report from the airport?
3/10, 31 1/100ths of an inch. So about just a little over 3/10.
And it's again in the forecast today and tomorrow, and then of course Friday with a tropical something.
Yeah, basically east of 69C will be the 20 to 30% chance today. Tomorrow, it ramps up on Friday up to a 40 to 50% chance, and then back down to about 20% chance on Saturday.
All right, pal. So highs. In the meantime, if you get the sun, you're going to be burning up to 104 today, 104 tomorrow, and look for those spotty showers in the area. Nothing on radar right now, right?
No, a little bit of relief on Friday too. It's only going to be in the low and mid 90s to almost 100.
Yeah, thanks to the cloud cover and the rain. Good travel weather for today, right? Nothing else going on.
Yeah, no, pretty quiet. Again, took a look up toward Austin. They do have a chance for, a spotty shower or two to pop up late in the afternoon. Again, a little bit of boundary action and just the heat trying to fire things up.
All right, pal. Thanks for the update. AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina. National days for today. In Texas, we call it Filet Mignon. Filet Mignon Day is today. That is probably the most tender portion of the tenderloin. That's why it's so expensive and so delicious as well.
All right, they're so little. They're only tiny little things.
Yeah. So you got to
steak than that.
Unlike my 13-year-old, that's where you got to eat small portions, chew a lot, and just enjoy. Close your eyes and savor the moment. That's a filet mignon. All right, pal. We'll call you next hour. AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina, your tropical coverage 2025. Time is 7:13 on the Valley's Morning News. Texas lawmakers looking to shore up the state's emergency systems.
There's a push in the Texas Senate to tap the Rainy Day Fund to pay for more flood protection in the Hill Country. Includes $50 million for an early warning system,
sirens, rain gauges, and other equipment in the Central Texas flood region.
State Senator Joan Huffman says there's also $20 million tucked into the plan that will fund a new swiftwater training facility for first responders. Right now, she says police and firefighters travel out of state, but like everything in Austin, the legislation is on hold thanks to a Democratic quorum break to protest redistricting.
President Trump might soon be getting the interest rate cut he's been clamoring for from the Fed because the July inflation report was much better than expected. Comments from the White House and Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
Today's CPI report revealed that inflation beat market expectations once again, and inflation remains stable.
And she says since President Trump took office, the inflation rate actually is pretty impressive.
Overall, inflation has run at a 1.9 average annual pace in President Trump's first 6 months in office.
Some economists say that this new inflation report should be evidence that the tariffs are not leading to a spike in inflation, and it's now safe to try to cut interest rates. And another note from the White House, President Trump extending a tariff truce with China, 90 more days to talk about establishing a permanent trade deal with China that benefits both countries. Items going from the U.S. to China right now are facing a tax of 10%. There are issues that are non-tariff related, like China purchasing energy from Russia, that need to be ironed out. Time is 7:15. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Got Teclo Garcia from the Mission Economic Development Office. He's also part of the decision-making table up in Austin when it comes to transportation issues. The master plan for the border, let's get an update to that. Anzalduas Bridge activity and other important economic pocketbook issues next on the Valley's Morning News.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Introducing the newest destination for luxury in the Rio Grande Valley, the all-new Mercedes-Benz of Harlingen. Come visit Michael Fall, General Manager, today and discover the perfect blend of elegance and power at the all-new Mercedes-Benz of Harlingen. A true triumph of luxury, now open at their exceptional new state-of-the-art location at 8522 West Expressway 83 in Harlingen. We shop the competition so you don't have to. Dale gas!
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Texas A&M Fighting Aggies football returns Saturday, August 30th as they host UTSA. Kickoff at 6 p.m. on News Talk 710 KURV.
Thank you much for joining us on the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Your station for Astros baseball. You won't hear a score on the sportscast this morning. We're not going to mention it. It was just embarrassing. They had Chas McCormick on the mound at the towards the end of the game. It was that bad. Astros baseball tonight, 6 p.m. broadcast against the Red Sox. Your station for Astros baseball, made possible by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women and the Mission Economic Development Corporation. Speaking of, we got Teclo Garcia, the chief at Mission EDC. Anything H-Town. That's what I love about Teclo. Anything H-Town. Whether Astros, Texans,
that score last night had me give some PTSD from when they were called the Lastros. Remember that?
Yeah, I'm suffering from that.
About
this
10
morning.
years
I'm a little
ago.
dizzy this morning.
12, 15 years ago.
Okay, we need some good news, and we're going to rinse with some, because you are a member of an advisory committee looking at future plans for transportation issues, representing the Valley. So tell me about the committee. And tell me about some of the good news that you bring.
Yeah, for sure. It's called the Border Trade Advisory Committee. The former Senator Jane Nelson, who's the Texas Secretary of State, oversees the committee, appointed by the governor. And I'm happy that TxDOT Commissioner Alex Mead nominated me, and I was accepted. And it's a really good group it's an international group, private sector and public sector folks. They're there to advise the TxDOT and the Secretary of State on border transportation.
How often
issues.
do you guys get together and have that
quarterly?
chit-chat?
Is the idea. That's what we shoot for, and so we meet usually in Austin or sometimes around the state.
So it's the stakeholders, people that are in trade and warehousing and business and manufacturing, and of course also local decision-making, banking.
Yes, MPO folks are on there.
Yeah.
There's some mayors on there. There's private sector folks. Some of the like the Killam folks are on there as well.
Big developers, by the way. Killam, big developers there.
Yeah, and Laredo as well. So people from El Paso, et cetera.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the good news? What's the plan from the committee?
So in this meeting we had in Austin yesterday was to go over the Texas-Mexico border transportation master plan, which was done in 2021 for the first time. And what it does is examine all the needs, collects data from all the ports from Brownsville up to El Paso, and looks at all the transportation algorithms and needs, and assesses what is it that is needed for the border in terms of transportation. TxDOT and TxDOT's contractors, they handle this, and they report to Madam Secretary. And so in 2021, there was a lot of challenges and for moving people and goods efficiently between countries and borders. Mexico's our biggest trading partner, and of course, Mexico imports into the U.S. Almost with impunity, and that's good. It supports about 400,000 jobs in Texas, and so we're aware of that. And so what happens is during this master plan process, groups of local stakeholders are put together. The last time it was done, it was the Valley, Laredo, and El Paso. They did 3 meetings, right, or 3 groups of information that they're finally put together in the end, right? And so local stakeholders in the Valley came together to assess what the needs are, and then the priorities. What is it that needs to be funded the most, and what order? What are the priorities here?
So what did you hear on that then, as far as priorities?
Well, obviously the infrastructure around the bridges were the priority, right?
Yeah.
That's and moving trucks and so forth. And then Laredo and El Paso. What's different this time around in 2025, if we go forward, is that the state broke the groups up into 6 groups. So, Cameron County will have a group of local stakeholders. Hidalgo County, then Laredo, then Del Rio, and then El Paso. There will be different groups. So there will be more information in smaller groups from different stakeholders. The groups won't be so huge, right? So people will be heard more. Even little old Presidio is going to have its own little local stakeholder group.
Yeah, forget that, man. We got big international trade taking place right now in the RGV. Teco Garcia with Mission Economic Development, also part of a roundtable of a committee that looks at the future of infrastructure, border development, traffic, of course, highway and road development. At the Anzalduas Bridge specifically, what do you see? Like, what do we need? Do we need like thicker roads now? What route do we need? What's the plan right now to try to improve that roadway, get it over to the interstate?
Yeah, it's Anzalduas and all the other ports in Brownsville and in the Mid Valley, Laredo, etc.
Yeah. Donna's going to need some help too with our international bridge.
It's about looking at what is happening and assessing, and then creating capacity and connectivity to improve trade, right, between the 2 countries and further create jobs, all for economic development. And the process will start to vet out what is most needed. Local stakeholders. That's why it's so important to get the local stakeholders, as you mentioned, private sector and public sector, to work with TxDOT and its contractors to find out what is the most important thing. You tell us. We're not going to, take it top down and just say, okay, you're going to get this. You tell us what's most important.
Okay, having said that, did you hear anything interesting from the private sector stakeholders that were there saying, okay, we got all this international trade, the warehousing, maybe new technology, setting up shop somewhere at industrial parks, got to get it over to the interstate, things like that. Did you hear anything interesting?
No, not yet. This was the first meeting in which the TxDOT staffs and the contractors announced the rollout. So in the near future, you're going to start hearing from TxDOT, engaging in the local communities to hear what is it that is most needed. Remember, this was done and it was published and put out in 2021. So this information was gathered in 2019, 2020 in the middle of COVID. The needs assessment is completely different today than it was back then, right?
Yeah.
And we've got AI people, we automate, we got robots driving trucks now.
That's crazy world.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It really
world.
is. So,
Yeah.
so that's why it's so important for TxDOT to jump back in and say, okay, let's reassess. It's been 5 years.
No, and the dynamics are so different now.
Right.
Trade policy is, completely 180 degrees, polar opposite. Where it seems like more of an emphasis north of the Rio Grande in our region, potential still there for more international manufacturing. Here.
TxDOT was also very nice to appoint me to the state's Freight Advisory Committee. So that committee also, like this one, meets a few times a year, also to hear from local stakeholders, anywhere from Brownsville, El Paso. But this one is strictly focused on trade and freight. And so we work together to try to gather information to move the border forward. And keep in mind that there are Mexican officials and private sector individuals from Mexico also on these committees, so they can tell us what's going on. One thing we mentioned yesterday, of the few things, I was on a panel discussing trade with some other really distinguished folks, and one thing we emphasized was that funding for the border is really funding for the rest of Texas, for the country, for that matter, because goods coming through the border through here and the monster that's Laredo, those goods aren't staying in Laredo in the Valley. They're moving on to San Antonio, to DFW, to Memphis, where FedEx is, Chicago, Atlanta. And so it's important for them to understand that they have to have a good border.
Yeah. Tegla Garcia, Mission Economic Development. I don't want to belabor the whole, because it's a lot of brainstorming that's taking place.
Oh, for sure.
I'd like to know, how much more brainstorming before you revise the master plan for the border and then get this information to, the decision makers, the other filter, right? The regional mobility folks, the metropolitan planning folks, to finally do something with the bigger piggy bank of TxDOT money we have here to, let's connect the Anzalduas, the Brownsville Bridge, all the improvements that we need.
Yeah.
Like how much longer till we get a new report and then get that over to the decision makers to funnel the money?
Yeah, boy, that's a great point. This is definitely a document that MPOs, mayors, city councils, EDCs can use to get in front of their lawmakers, right? And other lawmakers from around the state and say, hey, look, this is what we found. This is why this is so important to our district and yours. January 27 is the target date to get this out. So you got the rest of 25 and then all of 26 to work in all these different areas to get Laredo's feedback and Del Rio and Valley and even Presidio.
Let me ask you, since we touched on the issue of things being completely different now than they were just, 4 years back, previous administration, especially when it comes to manufacturing and trade, the emphasis on producing in the U.S. And of course, you got the passionate work of, Joaquin Spamer and Rioplex and the gang at CoStep. Everybody's pushing in the same direction. The hope and prayer is that we land very interesting, bigger, maybe high-tech manufacturing. You told me a little bit the other day, because I told me, hey, maybe, if you need to cancel again, it'd be for a good reason. You're going to have some big high-tech thing. But let's face reality, because you are on the front lines of recruiting industry. So what can we shoot for right now and try to land some jobs right now that is in high-tech or high-tech related? Because, man, we got a whole bunch of industries headed this way.
Yeah. So first of all, let me clarify with you and Freddie that whenever I cancel, it's because I'm sleepy. It's not because I have industry and trying to avoid things.
Techno Garcia, he stayed up doing his DJ work overnight, much like the CEO of one of the major finance. Anyway, I'll share that with you here in a little bit.
No, but you're right. Look, the Valley is Texas and the Valley, but certainly primed to create even more jobs. Texas has been led by Governor Abbott's business recruitment efforts. The top state for business the last dozen years, right? And so the Valley's in the same boat. We have opportunities whether it's in McAllen or Edinburgh or Brownsville with SpaceX, Harlingen, to lure companies here that are want to be in this region between Mexico and the rest of Texas. Certainly, we know all about logistics, but I think you're right. I think that the air is right, or is ripe for recruiting more tech-savvy businesses. We have to continue working with UTRGV, STC, and others to make sure that our workforce is ready. So when someone calls McAllen or Mission or Brownsville and says, "Hey, we want to come to your area, but we need 250 engineers, or we need 250 tech workers," right? Mm-hmm. Can we provide them that workforce as they need it ASAP? Right? We get these notes from the state recruitment folks all the time. Hey, company X is looking for 200 acres and X amount of square feet, and then also X amount of employees with these kind of degrees, right? And everybody's working hard. UTRGV is doing a great job. Their engineering has been tops for a long time. STC has come around really quickly and can adapt workforce plans for whatever a company needs, and they've been great to work with. But I know we are in Mission. We're working and been talking to tech / data centers, in the last 2 or 3 months, maybe longer. And I think that McAllen and certainly Edinburgh's doing the same. With Zoho locating there, McAllen's talking to them before that. But there's others out there, and there's private sector developers in the valley that aren't necessarily going through the EDCs. Mm-hmm. They're also doing it on their own. Yeah. And so the activities out there. We just got to be able to land those first few, and then the dominoes will start falling.
Yeah, I guess in similar fashion, much like our neighbor Elon Musk, if he needs something, he'll get it, or he'll build it, or he'll call it in. It doesn't necessarily need to bring in county or cities or EDCs to do something like that. Real quick, 30 seconds. Yeah. Anzalduas Bridge, any numbers, anything you want to share as far as stats with it?
Some of the things about Anzalduas Bridge is the last 6 months, traffic has been down. Okay. Facing the uncertainty with the tariff situation, it's natural. But what we'll say about that is, even though truck traffic and car traffic is down at the Anzalduas Bridge, sometimes double figures, they're still higher than in 23. 23, we grew to 24. Then you saw the last 6 months. And keep in mind, it's just a 6-month period. We expect that to flatten out and grow again, but it's even higher than 23. So we're in good shape, given the volatility of the situation.
Got to ask you, in just like in 10 seconds, we're approaching Q4. When do we open on Anzalduas? Full throttle commercial. What's the latest?
The feds told me spring 2026.
Spring 2026. Okay. We'll keep kicking the can down the road. We're getting it because we need to properly staff it.
Right. And the training is important for all the new equipment that they have there.
All right. Thanks for stopping by.
Yes, of course.
By the way, it was Teclo Garcia. We lovingly refer to him as Techno Garcia. We joke about him staying up his DJ job. You know who's really a DJ, though?
What's that?
The CEO of Goldman Sachs. I kid you not. I learned that this morning. President said, hey, if you don't fire this person, go work full-time as a DJ. What's he talking about? I went looking for it. The CEO of Goldman Sachs is actually, his side gig is being a DJ.
He's not making enough?
Well, I don't know. It's probably just, I don't know, man. Do DJs make that much? I'm missing out, man. I'm doing the news thing. I should be spinning the hits right now. Thanks for stopping by.
Of course, yes.
Teclo Garcia with Mission Economic Development, your station for Astros baseball. Sports up next.
Got a meeting, a party, a hungry crowd? Yeah, you could go with the usual, the same old tired trays everyone expects and boring veggies, or you could do something better, something that makes your taste buds water as soon as you hear the name, the Blue Onion. At the Blue Onion in McAllen and Weslaco, we're redefining catering. We're bringing bold, handcrafted flavors straight to your next office event or party with fresh, crisp salads made with the healthiest, best ingredients. Warm, savory wraps packed with flavor. Dip samplers with flatbread for everyone, and our signature pizzas and po' boys. Yep, they'll be talking about these delicious get-togethers long after lunch is over. And here's the best part. For every 6 orders in your catering box, you get a free Blue Blue Onion Pizza. So, whether it's a team meeting or special event, let the Blue Onion create a custom menu that fits your budget and taste. Visit myblueonion.com today to see all our catering options. The Blue Onion in McAllen and Weslaco, redefining catering.
It's a very thoughtful thing for something you can do for your immediate family. There's so much that you try to control, right? There's only so much we can do. I mean, you're human after all. But when it comes to eternal issues and separation and the shock of separation, that time when the Lord says, time to come home. But Lord, I got to finish these reports. I got to finish this project. No. It's time. That's it. Time's up. A very loving thing to do for your immediate family is to pre-plan and prepay. On behalf of Mark and Carla McCaleb, a reminder to call Carla. I'm going to give you Carla McCaleb's personal cell number, and you call or text her so that someone from the McCaleb family, folks who have been doing this for 60 plus years, when it comes to that moment, that shock, that separation, that the pain of the moment, the McCaleb funeral clan, they've been helping thousands of families through the years, generation and a half now, and negotiate that. But what I'm telling you is pre-plan, prepay. Like my mom and dad did this for me, an only son with a lot of, extended family. And yes, it made things a lot easier. It's still painful, but man, I can't imagine going through all that pain, the separation, and then having to make like this laundry list, a huge list of decisions, then paying for all this. No, my mom and dad loved me enough to pre-plan, prepay. So call Carla and McCaleb, somebody from the family come to you, sit down, let's talk this out, long list, make all these decisions, and set up prepayment. Boom, you just took care of your immediate family for that moment. 956-650-2841. Again, 956-650-2841. Carla McCaleb at McCaleb Funeral Home.
Introducing the newest destination for luxury in the Rio Grande Valley, the all-new Mercedes-Benz of Harlingen. Come visit Michael Fall, General Manager, today and discover the perfect blend of elegance and power at the all-new Mercedes-Benz of Harlingen. A true triumph of luxury, now open at their exceptional new state-of-the-art location at 8522 West Expressway 83 in Harlingen. We shop the competition so you don't have to. Dale gas!
Aggie football returns to News Talk 710 KURV. Howdy, this is Andrew Monaco, voice of your Fightin' Texas Aggies. Tune in Saturday, August 30th for kickoff of the 2025 Aggie football season on News Talk 710 KURV.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
I'm Kevin Walker with your Texas in the Morning Sports Report.
The kick and the pinch. And that one is hit high and deep out into left field, and it will not come back. Second deck home run for Ketel Marte. It is his 22nd of the season, and the Diamondbacks enjoy their first lead tonight, 3-2.
And that's how it ends in Game 2 between the Texas Rangers and the Arizona Diamondbacks in the rematch of the 2023 World Series. 3-2 the final as the Snakes split the series at the Globe. Jack Leiter took the mound for the Rangers and posted an okay start, giving 5 innings, allowing 4 hits, 1 run, and collecting 3 Ks. The offense is where the struggle came from as the Bats could only muster 4 knocks for 2 runs. All set for the rubber match later today with former D-back Merrill Kelly facing Zach Gallen. First pitch is set for 1:35. With your Texas in the Morning Sports Report, I'm Kevin Walker.
AccuWeather says highs today up to 104. Chance of rain still there. Might pop up somewhere like it did yesterday. Some of us got a little rain, a lot of us didn't. That's the scenario today, tomorrow. Then Friday, a much better chance. We got some tropical rain on the way. Border Bridge wait times is posted on KURV.com. Let's see if we got the latest numbers. First up is McAllen. Headed back to McAllen, 30 minutes at the Hidalgo Bridge, 15 at their FAR connection. And headed back to Brownsville. Good morning, Brownsville. Hour and a half at B&M, 45 at Gateway, 30 at Veterans. Business news check of your money. That's next on 710 KURV, the pulse of Valley business. Number 1 selling compact tractor in the nation is Kubota. The Kubota Z Series mowers available at Amigo Power Equipment. The Kubota Sidekick vehicles, the utility vehicles available at Amigo Power Equipment. And as I said, the number 1 selling compact tractor Kubota at Amigo Power Equipment right now. Great deals available for you. Stop by and visit with JP and Jeff. They're on Monte Cristo in Edinburgh. And right now you can get the Kubota select Kubota L2502 series for as low as $21,999 or $325 per month now through September 30th. Lots of information, details available at KubotaUSA.com. Again, visit Amigo Power Equipment. Right now, get your select L2502 Kubota series for as low as $21,999 and $325 per month for Kubota, the Z series mowers, the Kubota sidekicks, and of course, the number one selling compact tractor in the nation. It's Amigo Power Equipment in Edinburgh on Monte Cristo for Kubota.
Improve your overall health and enjoy a better quality of life with Dr. T's Primary Care. You're trying to set some new weight goals. If you're too moody or stressed out or just tired and trying to get more sleep, Dr. T's Primary Care can help you with all of that. And more if you're worried about things like low testosterone. Dr. T is a primary care provider from the sniffles to the flu and also offer menopause treatment, peptide treatment, and IV vitamin infusions. McAllen area call 956-803-0058 and in Harlingen 956-368-5247. That's drtspриmarycare.com.
Come into Genesis of Harlingen today and soak up the feeling of the dynamic yet elegant design and cutting-edge technology that makes up the amazing Genesis vehicle lineup. Visit today and choose from a great selection like a 2025 Genesis GV80 for $509 a month for 36 months. Come see where refined sophistication meets powerful innovation at Genesis of Harlingen at 8521 West Expressway 83 in Harlingen. Shop from the entire line of Genesis online at genesisofharlingen.com.
710 KURV. Streaming live at KURV.com. Powered by Texas Mutual Workers Compensation Insurance. A policyholder-owned company. Work safe, Texas.
Your Money Now, brought to you by the Ryan and Brian Real Estate Team. Call 956-540-2536, 956-540-2536, or online at ryanandbrian.com.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. Nomura expects the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates by 25 basis points in September amid signs of milder U.S. inflation in July and early cracks in the labor market. The Consumer Price Index rose 0.2% last month, easing from a 0.3% gain in June, and broadly in line with economists' expectations. President Trump said Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon should either replace the bank's economist or just focus on being a DJ. Jan Hatzius, Goldman's chief economist, warned in a research note that U.S. consumers will end up absorbing an increasing share of the cost of Trump's tariffs. Circle Internet Group stock tumbled more than 5% after it said it would offer 10 million Class A shares to the public. 2 million of the shares will be offered by the company. 8 million shares will be sold by existing shareholders. The stablecoin issuer's shares have soared more than 450% since it went public on June 5th. Futures are slightly higher. Wednesday, the Dow Industrials gained 483. That's Your Money Now.
And a quick local note, Magic Valley Electric Co-op rates going up October 1st. AccuWeather says highs will be up to 104. Chance of rain somewhere out there. Might happen just like yesterday. Better chance Friday with some potential of tropical rain. Your station for AccuWeather. News Talk 710 KURV. Fox News coming up in 2 minutes.
Hi there. My name is Tony Bolstead. My wife and I, Carol, own Sand Monsters. We'd like you to come on out and have fun. We've got a half-mile long track out here. It runs across about 3.5 acres. Have adult cars and kid cars, getting laps in, learning how to drive on the sand. And we also lease space to Redline Helicopters is one of our tenants here, and they've got a pad and they do helicopter tours. Lone Star National Bank and the team there really helped us get this thing put together, answered all our questions, huge help.
I am Stephanie Harrison. I am the second generation owner of Sisters Interiors on South Padre Island. We had always dreamed of owning our own land and owning our own building, using our design team to create what you see here today. That's how we got involved with Lone Star National Bank. We partnered with them and they helped us, create the dream.
At Rivetta's Machinery in Donna, they're bringing the best deals on Coyote equipment to your job site, your farm, or your backyard. Right now, take advantage of 0% interest or up to $6,000 cash back on Coyote track loaders and skid steers. These are machines built for maximum performance no matter the task. But don't stop there. They're also offering fantastic savings on Coyote tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles. And whether you're hauling something, mowing, tackling other big jobs, Coyote has the equipment to help you get it done. If you're looking for great deals and great service from a team that treats you like family, look no further than Rivetta's Machinery and Coyote. Start your next project right. Visit Rivetta's Machinery in Donna or browse their deals when it suits you at mynewtractor.com. That's their website, mynewtractor.com. Rivetta's for the long haul. See dealer for full details.
Come experience larger-than-life luxury and design at Bird Ogden Infiniti in Edinburgh. You're invited to come in and choose from a great selection of new Infinitis available now. Drive off in your own 2025 Infiniti QX60 with 0% APR for 36 months. All available with Infiniti Premium Care Maintenance Plan for 3 years. Experience luxury as it's meant to be at Bird Ogden Infiniti on the corner of Alberta and Expressway 281 in Edinburgh. Shop from the entire line of Infinitis online at birdogdeninfinity.com.
News and weather information at your fingertips.
I've got internet. Me too. Internet activity in all sectors, sir.
Log on to KURV.com. News Talk 710 KURV.
The morning news on News Talk 710 KURV, also available at Radio Para Mi. That's the free app for Radio United, the family of stations here in the Valley and in the Laredo area. Look for Radio Para Mi and find 710 KURV. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz, and we got AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina looking at tropical rain headed this way. News on 710 KURV is a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. President Trump says he'll be speaking to European leaders this morning about ending the war in Russia. That includes Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who's in Berlin for the German-hosted virtual meeting with the president. It's the first full day of the National Guard's presence on the streets of Washington, D.C. The troops are fighting crime in the capital. President Trump posting earlier on Truth Social just out irrefutable proof that Senator Adam Schiff's approved plan to leak classified information to damage Donald Trump stems from a whistleblower report. Utah Congressman Burgess Owens talking to Fox Business.
These guys are supposed to be in a position to help our country grow. Instead spending all his time, his mental energy to figure out how to cause a coup when it comes down to President Trump.
Fox's Chad Pergram.
Schiff's office calls this baseless smears, saying the whistleblower was, quote, not reliable, not credible, and was fired.
America's listening to Fox News.
The Texas Senate approved new congressional maps on Tuesday in an effort to give Republicans a greater advantage to try to pick up 5 more congressional seats.
The district maps still need to be approved by the state house, which has been at a standstill since Democrats left the state to protest the move. 9 Senate Democrats walked out yesterday to protest what they called a corrupt process. The effort to redraw the maps came at the behest of President Trump. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
We're learning more about the Fort Bliss soldier that was accused of trying to sell military secrets to Russia.
Taylor Lee was arrested and charged last week and had his first hearing yesterday. According to KFOX, Lee believed he was speaking with Russian agents during past talks, but it was really an undercover FBI agent. Along with knowledge of the M1A2 Abrams tank, Lee handed over classified documents and admitted their leakage could harm U.S. service members. Lee was arrested August 6th near a bus stop by El Paso Airport and reportedly said his life was in shambles and that he saw no way out. A hearing is meant to resume at some point today.
2 American-made vehicles are going out of production. Ford Motor Company saying 2 of its small SUVs, the Ford Escape and the Lincoln Corsair, will no longer be developed, no longer be manufactured. They're making room at a couple of plants in the U.S. to make a new midsize electric truck. Should be available in a couple of years. Kodak's future. Remember Kodak? They're still in the market because they're making cameras and other photography equipment. Kodak's future might not be clear, according to a report. 133-year-old company, Kodak, is saying that there is substantial doubt about being able to stay in business. Kodak said that it might not have the resources to pay its debt soon. This is the Valley's Morning News on Newstalk 710 KURV. Join us online. Radio Para Mi is the free app. Also, 7 o'clock hour of the morning news. We broadcast. Freddie puts us on 710 KURV YouTube Live and 710 KURV X Live, Facebook Live, so you can find the video there as well. Thank you for joining us on News Talk 710 KURV, your station for AccuWeather.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
How does a bag full of hot breakfast tacos sound to you? Oh, I think that'd be wonderful, don't you think? Especially if they taste like, you know what, Mom and Abuelita used to make. If you had the blessing of growing up in a home where your mom would wake up early in the morning, make some breakfast tacos. Maybe made them for Dad on his way to work. You know, if you had that blessing, you woke up with that wonderful scent of breakfast tacos, tortillas on the skillet. Oh my goodness, it's waiting for you at every El Pato restaurant. Stop by El Pato. Phone it in, by the way. You know where it is. Phone it in. That's what I do. I phone it in. You can also order at elpato.com and get you a bag full of those breakfast tacos, the breakfast patos, with all your favorite ingredients. Get some bacon in there, maybe get some extra bacon, some ham, some cheese, some potatoes, chorizo, you name it. Maybe even a barbacoa breakfast tacos, some patos. Don't forget the refried bean. El Pato is so delicious. It is our food made fresh. elpato.com. Order online, phone it in. That's what I do all the time, and write down the big special at every El Pato restaurant. 2 chicken or cheese enchiladas that are scrumptious, rice and bean, and the tortilla fresh off the skillet. How about you fill that with some beef fajitas? Oh, my goodness. The fajita pato, the 2 enchiladas, rice and bean, and the drink, and amazing, only $9.99 at every El Pato restaurant.
Tune in to the 956 Drive Home every Thursday afternoon starting at 5:07 for Dr. Rachel Gelman's Vision, a closer look at the health of your eyesight with board-certified and fellowship-trained ophthalmic surgeon Dr. Rachel Gelman on News Talk 710 KURV.
When the odds are against you, a force for justice will be there. When you need someone to defend you, when you need a champion, we will be that force. So if the unfortunate ever happens and you or someone you love is in an accident, call me, Jay Gonzalez, at Jay Gonzalez Law Firm, a force for justice.
Experience everything Bert Ogden Cadillac in Edinburgh has to offer. Service, selection, and quality. Indulge yourself with a bold design and refined performance in a new Cadillac XT4 for just $579 per month. More style, more innovation, more you. Make your move. Set yourself apart and discover a new standard of luxury ownership. Visit us online at BertOgdenCadillac.com or come in today to Bert Ogden Cadillac in Edinburgh. Official sponsors of UTRGV football. Dale gas!
If you're looking to improve your overall health,
Summer is heating up, and so is our local economy. From sizzling business deals to community connections, News Talk 710 KURV and the Radio Potami app are here to keep you in the know. Download the Radio Potami app to stay informed and entertained. Whether it's local market updates, summer events, or the weather, we've got you covered. Support local, stay connected, and tune in to the pulse of Rio Grande Valley business. News Talk 710 KURV and the Radio Potami app, where local